All right, everyone, let's take a look at my Bitcoin Elliott Wave analysis. And from a cycle perspective, we have a 1, 2, 3 wave structure. And within that 2 to 3, we have a 5-wave motive sequence here. And within that 5-wave motive sequence, typically you have an ABC structure that follows, which is the 4th cycle wave that we're looking to trade, right? So we have a 5-wave sequence when we go down into the 4-hour here after our all-time high, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, the real question is this low from the 60 that we put in, is this the terminal low? Is this the absolute wave A? And now we're looking for the B structure after that 5-wave sequence. Or is the local count still forming? So within the 4 to the 5, within the A, 1, 2. Now the real question is, what is this here? Is this a 3-wave structure? This is the 3-wave, so 1, 2, 3. Are we forming the 4? Now, can we have one more low to come? Yeah, I do think the highest probability right now at this moment in time, highest probability is that another low will come, and that's a market structure that we'll get into here in a second. From an Elliott Wave analysis, it's you need more data. So you have 1, 2, 3. This could be a 4 and a 5, or you could look at it as 1, 2. This was a 3, 4, 2, a 5, and then that is your A wave, and now we should be putting in a B wave. Now, why am I looking at it like this? So if this is our, let's just do this something for simple here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's assume that, let's look at the scenario that this was a 3-wave structure here. Let's put these paths on here. So let's assume that this is a 3-wave. Now we should be looking for some sort of 4-wave, and we could see a 5th wave. Well, we're going to take a Fibonacci pull from 3, or from the height of 2 down to a 3, right? We are reclaiming, let's see, let's put the 2 on. We did reclaim the 236, shot up through that really nice bounce. We have been rejecting on the 382, which is where wave 4s typically retrace. Right now, I think it's hard to say if this is a double top or if they were just basing and consolidating under this level before we come up to the 0.5. Now, I think you need enough time. You know, you have a CME gap up to 84, but I think the line in the sand for this type of one is the 0.5. I don't think you want to see a wave 4 come up above the 0.5. Sure, oftentimes on Bitcoin we can see a 618. I think the 618 is your hard invalidation. If we reclaim 618 and we kind of come up and do something like this where we reclaim the 618, we have more bullish continuation. You know, that's obviously you can say that this was terminal, and that is an invalid count. The wave 5 is in, and then now we're going for the B wave structure. But I think locally here, it's really you need some time, you need some data and some narrative, and that's why I'm going to be very patient this week and just kind of be looking at how are we forming here. Is this a 3-wave? You know, maybe we can have this is the 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's the 4, and then we'll come down for the 5. So if we do start to see some sort of rejection here on the 1 hour, let's say, by the 382 or the 0.5, then we can see that, like, are we going to be putting in a 5-wave again? That's any sort of impulsive motive wave sequence from a rejection here, and you're seeing a 5-wave structure. That signals that that is a 4th wave, and we should start to see at least somewhere closer back to 60s, and that's where I'd be looking for a very nice swing long opportunity with size. And again, when we zoom out here, let's look at the daily. The daily's being weird. Let's look at the 4-hour. You know, that's again the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll be looking for the A, B, C, and then once we get up to the B, you know, again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure. And that's really all I've been doing. There's no magic to it. That's simple Elliott Wave analysis. You know, shorted the all-time high here, shorted the retest of 116K. We did take a short here at 109 back in November. We longed the wave 3 bottom here. We didn't take any trades here because that was just chop comprehensive. I mean, that was a WXYXZ structure, 333. That was complex. And then we shorted the 97 and we rode that down here. So really, I think the question is, where is this count at right now, and what is the highest probability? And the highest probability is going to be newer lows that come from a market structure perspective. And, you know, again, that's just from market structure. So if you look at here, market structure, you know, we have the lower high, but this is a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Did kind of put in a lower high here, and we haven't quite taken that here. But let's say that this is the lower high that I'm really concerned about. Anything above, if we come up and reclaim 81, that is a sign of strength, and I would say that that is a terminal low, and the 60K is the low, and you know we're gonna be looking for upward momentum now. Now this is everything that I'm saying right now. I'm talking about probabilities. The highest probability is something that I'm always looking for, right? And when you look at something that just happened here, from let's go back to an Elliott Wave perspective, wave 5s, and again, if we're assuming that this is a 1, 2, 3, and we're getting a 4, wave 5s end on low volume. This was a very high volume spike, which fits the characteristics of a wave 3. Wave 5s also kind of start to end in some sort of diagonal, so we could start to see something like this. You could also get some sort of triangle, and it comes into a very low volume, low compression, or high compression, I should say, and you're going to be looking at order flow. So when we go back, let's look at the order flow here. I want to show you something here. So again, when we go look at this is the 4-hour order flow. I'm always talking about order flow, order confirmation, order entry, execution. This was a really good long to have down here. You had, let's look at this. So this is the nice move down that we saw all through last week. When we look at the delta, this is the delta of the volume here. We have a lot of negative delta pushing price down. Negative 23 million, negative 50, 17, 42, 16, 23, 37 million on that last candle spike. And then within that, we had a bullish reversal of positive delta come in, positive 17, positive 4, positive 13 million. And we're starting to see from a 4-hour, I mean, this is the weekend hours, so it's really hard to assess here. It's kind of tapered off a little bit, but you can see we've had some negative delta spikes within here. This one, negative 47 on Friday night. That's a really high negative delta spike. Pushing in, that's the 382. I like to see that from, if you want the low to come, if you want another low to come, you kind of want to start to see something like that. But overall, let's go into the 1 hour here. I want to show you a little bit here. Order flow. I didn't personally take a swing long. I wasn't going to knife catch something like this. Yeah, we were looking at the value area low of that macro perspective. But I think something in here, I mean, this is the bread and butter of trading, and especially order flow, right? You have something, negative 37 million, that is a lot of negative delta. That is a lot of shorts FOMOing in, trying to push price down. And when you actually get into the candles here, this is look at this. This is 60,000 Bitcoin. You have 5 million, 3 million, 2 million, 1 million, 2 million. You have a lot of, look at these 2 million, 1 million, 3 million. This is a lot of shorts opening. And then on the long side, you have a lot of longs opening, and you see a quick flip back up. And you see all these longs opening, trapping those shorts at the bottom. And then obviously Friday, New York Open, we had a very nice continuation back up, and we saw a rise in Bitcoin price, trapping those shorts, liquidating, getting a nice squeeze, and that's kind of where we're at right now. So going back to, let's get this back up, going back to Elliott Wave, again, that's what I'm looking for. I want to see if this fifth is in, and this is the A wave, and now we're going to the B, or if we have one more local wave down, this is the 4 into the 5 of the A, and that's what I really want to trade. Now, I didn't snag a low on leverage, but I did take a lot of, if we look at the range here, you know, in this below the POC to the value area low. Again, this is just a fixed range volume profile. I don't know why this daily is being, let's do the 12-hour here. This is just a fixed range profile pull that I did. And, you know, I don't know. I pulled it wrong here. There's certain ways you could pull it. I've pulled it a couple times where it did touch the value area low, but this is the pull that I do it. That's how I do it. Looks like we front run it. You know, that's something to be aware of. But again, I was buying spot down here, and I've been selling that into this rise here. And I'll hold on to that if we continue to rise, but you know, you can't always play it perfectly. So I'm trimming actively into the signs of strength that we did see. We'll have to see how we open up tonight at CME Open at 5. We'll have to see how New York opens and Tuesday. And by Tuesday, I think we should get a really good estimate of where we're going to be coming in within these levels here, right? So that's everything that I'm looking at. I want you guys to just be aware that I'm going to be really patient this week. I'm I'm really just not going to be chasing longs. I'm not going to be looking for shorts because we've had this massive move to the downside. I mean, what is this? 52% down. So looking for shorts, my bias has flipped to longs, and I do really want to look for a long swing, whether it's looking at the higher low or if it's one more swing low. If we get a swing low, that is going to be a very SFP heavy style execution, and I'm going to be looking for at least taking it back up to 98 to somewhere around wherever the 618 follows, right? So anywhere around 100K is probably the golden zone, right? So that's a really attractive 76K or at 76%. That's a swing setup that you want to be taking and juicing and holding something like that while playing that wave up. And then, of course, playing that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down. I do think that there's a lot of opportunity around the corner. So, again, I think being patient, controlling risk, and looking at maximum highest probability trades is going to be your best friend. So, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed, and happy trading.